Okay, so this is Ottomans versus Order of the Dragon. It's actually quite a nice matchup. Both are quite strong late game. This is actually why I started playing Ottoman, because I used to be Order of the Dragon all the time, but the Janissaries just absolutely destroyed me. And I decided that Ottomans were just significantly better on this game. So I just switched. As you can see, this game took a while, 56 minutes. But that was because my end game is not quite up to scratch, as you'll no doubt see. Never sure with it. I wasn't sure if this map, if I could fish properly. No, yeah, I was right not to bother. The dude. Order of the Dragon have some of the most powerful units. Kind of, I think, more kind of statistically. But then I found out to my detriment that, as I say, when matched up with a similar force with the Ottomans, with man-at-arms, elite man-at-arms, and elite Janissaries will always overpower. Just because they're so much more powerful than the others. The one thing that Order of the Phoenix has, like the French, is a powerful cannon. They use Colvins, along with a couple of other civilizations, but that is particularly strong, and was a bit of a pain for me in this game. So do my standard thing of trying to basically dominate the map. You win in this game if you're aggressive and you dominate the map, I've found. There are a couple of fishing spots in the middle I could have used, I guess, but didn't bother in the end. Let's have a look at resource income per minute. Enemy's doing pretty well, actually. I'm doing not so well income per minute. Have a quick look at the villagers are actually meant to be slightly, I think that's meant to be slightly faster. 1.29. No. There was something about Order of the Phoenix. I thought, perhaps I'm wrong. 7 plus 1. 6. No, I'm not sure. In any case, I get Castle Age before them, which is obviously good. I'm still behind on these numbers, and I'm actually doing okay on income per minute. In Castle Age, this is where I start to basically put mines up, as well as start to create some units. I'm mindful that was a load of cavalry that took out that scout, and so that kind of spurs me into action, as it were, in terms of creating some units and upgrading those units. I decided to do a second town centre this time. I'm sometimes too kind of lazy to bother, but I think this time it'll be worth it, because this adversary is, I think, probably fairly good. I suspect them of being fairly good. Obviously, that I take note that they've got cavalry roaming around up here. I start to make a tower. I think eventually I also move the rally point of the archery rangers. Again, this is quite useful, I feel, because I know what's going on, I know where they are. Yes, they've just killed a villager or two up here, but it's given me pre-warning if they could easily now come down. And so I'm now fairly ready with my troops. I've moved my villagers onto a different wood source. Slightly ridiculous number, but that's what I've decided to do. See, maybe quite sure what's going on there. Hopefully I'll sort it out in a minute. Start to build a bit of a wall, just because it would be slightly annoying if they came around and started going here. Again, just decide, you know what, I'm going to just try and get that gold mine again up and running. 18 minutes in now. So again, this is the kind of time where I'm starting to think about being a bit aggressive, and there we are. It's always about 18 minutes in. And again, I've done the same thing in terms of, well, my plan at least was to do the same thing in terms of making sure that I give myself a bit of warning. By, for example, putting a tower up here. Got quite a nice bit of gold down this way as well. That was one of the reasons I choose to go this way rather than that way. The other reason being because those cavalry, a few cavalry seem to be roaming around here, and that would give away my plan. So I'm revealing the gold mines down here just in case, and I'm also bringing with me a big old load of villagers. Not quite sure how many yet, but I just bring a load of villagers. Let's have a look. Make sure they're all kind of ready to go. I'm very aware, obviously, that there's a cavalry force up here that I potentially need to reckon with, and so I do leave some janissaries behind. They would probably struggle if they did try and attack. I would probably struggle. Probably should have put two more towers around. But here we go. So here's the first attack coming through. And it's always good to be first in this game. Always good to be first. Not least because you get to kill a fair few villagers. Aggressive positioning of the Seagate Castle. Very aggressive. I'm going to cheat and reveal all to see what's going on. So they're being fairly slow. Retreating with the gold miners here, but they're not, for some reason, meeting the threat head on. Maybe they're moving siege equipment into place, I'm not sure. Oh, they're also retreating with the cavalry. Probably is the right idea, to be honest, because this is a very serious threat from their perspective. I could have even been a bit more aggressive and put it here, but I didn't know how close their troops were. Slightly dumb here in that I don't get out of the way of the mangonels quite quickly enough, because I'm trying to do a couple of other things at the same time, I seem to remember. I do now kind of retreat a little bit to make sure that as it just comes up, everyone's in firing range. I think I'm fairly quick in garrisoning the villages. Make sure those arrows are also doing some damage. Nice. See, they're doing really well. One of the reasons that they take so long to kill is because they've got 3 relics in there, and that's just ridiculous in terms of how much gold that gives them. I think that's a bit broken, to be honest, how much gold that gives them. It's insane. I'm a bit slow here to get out of range of there as well. It's not great, it's not bad positioning, but it's also not perfect. It would be nice to be a bit closer to their town centre. But at the same time, you're not far away from the gold source. 2 gold sources, 3 gold sources. You're kind of dominating that side of the map such that it's going to be quite hard for them to get gold if they didn't have all these relics around, which somehow gives them insane amounts. Just switch to them just to see. Yeah, so they're not currently. They've got no villages. They've got very few villages really. 46 villages, 81. And I've got 89 villages, 52 military units. That should be, I would suggest, make it fairly easy for me because of the amount of resources I've got coming in compared to the amount of resources they've got coming in. Mess up there a little bit by not having enough wood. This, yeah. So I could do this bit better, obviously. Potentially could have gone round the side, or I could have done what I try and do now, which is to try and take out the trebuchets. For some reason I didn't move off it for a second, which is silly. They do well there. Do take out the trebuchets, which is obviously a good thing. They nearly, nevertheless, take out this tower now. They lose a load of cavalry in the process. This is obviously not the greatest shout. Try and take on it, even if it's flaming. Try and take it on whilst Alright, sounds on there for a second. They've already got another trebuchet going for it. Whilst that's happening, I'm sending around this side a force. They've for some reason got battering rams up there. Got a castle here, presumably ready to start up with that gold. I noticed these people, I think, in a second. There we go. That was just luck on my part. So I'm pressuring quite nicely now. Income per minute, 0 food. So really, I don't... Let's have a look at actually how much food they've got at all. They've got nothing. I often don't understand, you know, how people continue to fight when they've got no food. They've got everyone on wood, presumably to, yeah, create trebuchets. Don't have to worry about gold, just because they seem to get a crazy amount of gold just by existing. They've got these relics. I'm trying to take out these cauldrons a little bit. Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong plan. This is what I'm saying. Back to struggling now. See, this is where the tables could have turned, I think. If they'd have now run at me, properly gone for it. They haven't got a huge amount of force. Well, that was a bit stupid, isn't it? Yeah, I admit that was silly. But they should have just gone for it. Even earlier than that. I decide that it's not worth trying to save this at this point. And go decide to do some gold mining quickly whilst I can. Also starting to create some spring miles. Try and take out some of their particularly their cauldrons and also their trebuchet. So this is the point where I'm thinking, ooh, this might be turning in their favour. I'm also not great over here. I needed to put a tower up or something. I just click fire and then I go and do something else, which is obviously not the best idea. See, they're now starting to push back quite hard and quite effectively. But importantly, I don't retreat. I really think that's why, you know, this is incredibly important. Don't retreat, never kind of retreat, essentially. Well, not never, but be very wary about retreating, because you lose the control of the map. And as long as they're not, if they were aggressive enough now, they could have taken out a lot of these villages. But instead, they let me kind of basically rebuild this. Rebuild the attack. Continue with putting pressure on. Although there is a bit of a lull as I'm building up forces ready to go. Let's have a look how they do in this period. So they're focusing on getting back on it with the econ, and they've got a nice little force now. I decided to give it a go. Might as well. I realised that this might be a struggle. But the plan is to push on both sides, such that, yes, one attack may fail, but I'm slowly kind of forcing them very much onto the back foot, whilst also building siege workshops, archery ranges, etc., to deny them resources around the territory. Still doing very well on gold, considering I don't think they've got any gold mines. This is where my just kind of throwing units into the abyss doesn't really work. Do manage to take out some, or do some damage at least to some trebuchets. It's always good. Yeah, so the plan is... didn't see these. Plan is to just continue pressure, constant pressure. I think I noticed these two soon. Again, constant pressure. They can't be in like 3 places at once. So even if one attack's bound to fail, and also taking out villages, it's very important. Taking out villages, making sure that you've controlled the map. This is a bit arrogant, this is a bit overconfident. But the other thing is I've kind of technically got too many people at this point. I don't know if you can see. No. So I'm quite happy to risk throwing, for example, 20 people to go build a castle somewhere crazy. So it doesn't really, if they all die, it doesn't really matter. I.e., when I say I've got too many people, I've got too many villagers because of the number of villagers. I've got 132 on villagers versus 67, 68 military units, and that's obviously not a great ratio. I'm quite happy to lose some villagers, and instead of just killing them, I decide why not put up a keep, and then maybe got enough, maybe another one. Unfortunately, these are not janissaries, otherwise a lot of these would be dead already. What slows me up in this attack quite a lot, I mean obviously it's going alright, what slows me up quite a lot is their cauldrons. Quite good against units as well, those cauldrons. Trying to attack from both sides, right? At the same time, make it almost impossible to meet the advance. Obviously these should be a bit closer. Finally got this military landmark. These are seemingly trying to get the keep. Eventually my plan would be able to quite like the keep so that I can restore that landmark. Again, see how useful these cauldrons are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're very good. Also, the Ottomans don't have emergency repairs. emergency repairs are ridiculously strong for some reason. Again, I think slightly too much. I think the relic, getting that amount of gold and the emergency repairs, a little bit, make it a little bit ridiculous. But then the Janissaries are pretty strong, so. Not quite sure when you've got massed culverins like this. Wondering if it's, you know, wondering if knights would be a good counter. My preferred counter is to, right there, you know, the enemy's over here, so I'm going to attack over here. Which is exactly what I do. You're doing some nice damage there. And then, oh, the enemy's gone up there, so I'm going to attack down here. I don't see these, we should see these. Really do make it hard to counter 9 culverins. Fair play to this adversary, they don't just quit out, they do play to the end. Makes it a lot more fun when you actually try, right? See, they've now got cross of them coming to take out the slightly feeble attempt to get the cathedral. These are just doing anything now because I seemingly haven't ordered them to do anything. The win should be obvious now, but they're able to build back quite a lot. Speed it up a little bit. Still keeping the pressure on, even though I'm perhaps backing off slightly as I sort out my villagers situation. I think the issue partly is that I had to kind of rejig, and eventually I put some farms here, I think, and yeah, put some farms around, and it's like ridiculous numbers of farms, 40 farms. But now I'm very much, you know, I've got the university upgrades. I'm slowly creating a great bombard. Yeah, things should be fine. I'm just surprised about how long they are able to hold on, to be honest. Primarily, I think, because of this. The builders are actually beating my battering rams, repairing that. Again, I missed that. Should be an easy. Should have just put some units up there just to make sure that's not happening. They do well here to hold on, as I say. And seeing as I've got literally all the gold, the fact that they're doing about half as well as me is a bit crazy. They try and counter their culverins with spring walls, which doesn't really work, to be honest. Because the Ottomans don't have these. There's no... So that what I do basically is just say, you know what? Fair enough. But I'm just going to flood your defences. Yes, you've got a ridiculous number of culverins, but you can't be at 2 places, 3 places at once. And presumably they're having an issue with housing, which was kind of, you know, partly intentional. There you go, I decide, you know what, I need more food income. I've also by this point got a stream of people, a stream of traders, 56 per minute, 58. They're doing pretty well. Probably should have tried harder to get this initially, because without that I think Regnia's Cathedral, without that they're going to struggle to get any income. And at this point I'm just relying on basically dominating the map completely. To the extent to which I'm seemingly unable to challenge any of these culverins, so I just go around the back. Get that final one. It's gone up again. Already destroyed this and it went up again.